Well, last week, unfortunately, it happened again. On 2 different occasions across the country, teenagers took the lives of their parents and their siblings. I just don't get what's wrong with these people. In Grantsville, Utah, it's a long ways away from here, but last week a 16-year-old boy named Colin Haney shot and killed his mother and his 3 siblings. He also tried to kill his father, but his father survived. And then sadly, just 2 days later, here in Alabama, a similar situation took place. Like I said though, this time it was a lot closer to home. I'm not sure what's going on in the world today, but there's been so many of these same stories where teenagers are killing people. Now this Colin Haney quadruple homicide happened up in Utah, and then just 2 days after it, it happened again, this time about 2 hours north of where I live, in Montgomery, Alabama, which is right near, it's part of Talladega. It's in Talladega County. Those of you who watch NASCAR will know of Talladega because Talladega, Alabama is home to one of NASCAR's largest and most notorious racetracks in their entire circuit. Today I am in Munford and the Talladega area. Right behind me, this is the Talladega County Courthouse in Talladega, Alabama. And today the topic of this video is going to be the horrific triple homicide that happened last week right here in Munford. Now, as a caveat to that, because I am jumping on this story right after it happened, some of the evidence is not available yet. They have not released it, nor the motive, nor some of the story. For example, he's not gone on trial yet, so he has not been found guilty. He has not been sentenced any time. I doubt that he has even had his arraignment day yet. I know he has gone in front of a judge, but I doubt that he's even had an arraignment yet. But I will tell you what happened, what has been made public, everything that's available so far, and you'll kind of get the drift of the story from that. Dedicated to the men and women of Talladega County who served their country, and in memory of those who gave their lives for our freedom. The brutal triple homicide that happened here in Munford was committed by a 16-year-old boy. His name was Landon Durham. Just 1 week ago today, he lived in this house that you see right here with his mother, Holly Durham, and his identical twin brothers, Branson and Barron. The father wasn't there for some reason, and for the last week since this has all happened, he has remained completely silent. So I'm not sure if he lived there or if he doesn't live with them anymore. I am not sure. I just know that he was not home when all of this took place. Before last week, though, Landon seemed like just your typical 16-year-old child. He went to Mumford High School. His mom had even taken him just recently to get his driver's license right after he turned 16. On Tuesday of last week, though, something would happen that would change all of it forever.
Well, it's just something that you just don't expect in a small town like this.
Tonight, a Talladega County teenager is in jail and charged with capital murder. A 16-year-old accused of killing his mother and twin brothers.
Tuesday of last week started off like any other normal day. Landon Durham was at his high school learning and socializing with his friends. From early on that Tuesday, though, a close family member started trying to get a hold of Holly. She started calling. She called randomly at different times all day long trying to get a hold of Holly. After the family member knew that school should have gotten out and Landon and his twin brothers should have been at home, she called some more. As Tuesday afternoon turned into Tuesday evening and she still couldn't get a hold of anyone, that close family friend started worrying. She called a neighbor. The neighbor would go over to the Durham house to discover one of the most unimaginable scenes ever. The mom of the family, Holly Durham, and the two identical twin brothers, Branson and Barron, they had all been stabbed to death, yet Landon was nowhere to be found. The neighbor quickly called the police, and almost immediately a bolo was put out, a be on the lookout for Landon. Something inside of the house immediately told police that Landon was involved, that Landon had committed these horrific acts to his family. Something inside of that home told them that Landon Hudson Durham was their suspect right from the start. The medical examiner estimated that Holly and her two twin sons all died sometime between 2 and 3 a.m. that Tuesday morning. The police, without saying how they know, have also said that it looks like after Landon had killed his mom and his two brothers, that he went and he laid back down in the bed and went back to sleep before getting up and going to school, acting like nothing had ever happened. Now, how could you murder your mom, the woman who raised you, your two twin brothers who looked up to you? You took their lives, stabbed them to death, blood everywhere, and then you just go lay back down and go to sleep, and then you get up and go to school and act like nothing ever happened. How could you do that? I mean, when I feel like I am rude to someone accidentally, or if I unintentionally hurt someone's feelings, that alone keeps me up at night. This boy stabbed and killed his entire family and then went to bed. I don't get it. Now, like I said, they haven't released how they know he went back to bed, but Landon's first preliminary hearing is scheduled for March the 3rd of 2020, which is just over a month away. At that time, all of the state's evidence should be made public. So anything that we don't know before March the 3rd, we should know after that. No one saw Landon at all that Tuesday night, even though the bolo was there. Police were all over the place looking for him. It was the next morning, Wednesday morning, about 8:40 a.m. when police found Landon walking down a rural highway. He was right near a gas station when police stopped him and took him into custody without any incident at all. The police have also said that because he's only 16 years old, he can be and will be tried as an adult, but he cannot get the death penalty, and that is because of an Alabama law that says if you are a juvenile at the time that the crime was committed, you are not eligible for the death penalty. Because he was 16 years old when the crime committed, it makes no difference how long from now his trial is. It could be 2 years from now when he is an adult. He still can never get the death penalty for what he did to his mother and his two brothers. So if he's convicted, or if he pleads out to these capital murder charges that are facing him right now, at most he will spend the rest of his life in jail without the possibility of parole. No matter what though, he's going to have to spend the rest of his life with the memories and the pictures in his head of what he did to his family who loved him. That's all the information that's out right now. As I said earlier, his preliminary trial is scheduled for March the 3rd, and any and all other evidence that they have should be made public at that time. If anything else comes out between then and now, I will keep you updated, and if not, we will get an update on March the 5th when that information does come out. That's going to do it for this episode on Landon Durham killing his mother and his two brothers. I am actually going to be in Talladega again tomorrow. I have another true crime story that I'm going to tell. This one, just because it just happened, it took precedence. The other one, it happened some time ago. So I have tons of information on that story. So be looking out for that one. It'll come next. I am going to be praying for the Durham family, and you know, it would be great if any and all of you who believe, if you would keep them in your thoughts and prayers as well. Thank you all so much for watching. I will see you again tomorrow, and I hope you have a great day.